Hello, my name is Uni, and welcome back to my survival world. We are no longer going to be referring to it as the 1.20 or 1.19 previously, because I've decided to change up the style for this series. We are now using a new editing style, and I'm also bringing back some old ones as well, as you saw just now in the intro, and a lot has happened in the past month. Many updates to cover, many things to do as well. But today I have found a jungle temple, which unfortunately has nothing in it. I couldn't find any of the templates. And I also have a bit of a surprise elsewhere. But for now, I do want to show that I am using the replay mod right now. You can see up there in the corner. I will be getting rid of that. But for now, the purpose is to show you that I can do new things with the editing style. In fact, I can even do stuff like this where I follow you along and kind of just cut over to a B-roll shot or something. But for now, we're going to go ahead and head down this way because over here there is a new thing that is within the jungle itself. And it took me so long to find this. I really want to explore it as well, but I think you can guess what it is. And I already have a nether portal right next to it, but we found a trail ruin structure, and this thing is going to be fun to explore. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear out the area here because I want to make sure that we have a nice place to observe this entire thing. And I'm going to, of course, clear out the entire trail ruin. But the good news is I now have sodium on my fabric loader. So if we just go into video settings, you can see everything is different now. I can actually render 18 chunks and it won't like do any juddery motions or anything. And hopefully with OBS recording, we'll be all right. But now I'm just going to get all these leaves out of here because we got to see what's inside this thing. And I want to get a perimeter going on this. I want to make sure I know exactly how big and how vast this thing can get. All right, and this is what it currently looks like at the surface. I've done a little bit of excavating around the perimeter of what is exposed so far. And already we have one piece of suspicious sand here that we can kind of dig into. And I found a glass pane. Well, as painful as it is, we got to keep digging. I've got a little shulker box over here to put all my little findings into. But this is going to be quite a thing to uncover. And I have to be very careful. Whoops, I'm using the wrong shovel there. I want to actually collect all this gravel. But I got to be very careful that I don't break any more suspicious sand like I just did. In fact, you know what? We're not going to use the shovel at all. We're just going to go hand mode on this thing and try to do this very carefully so that I can find every last little piece, because I want those templates, I want those shirts, I want everything that comes out of these little guys. In fact, look, here we are. We got one right here. What's inside of this one? Ooh, I think, oh, a brown candle. I didn't know that was part of the loot table. Well, that's pretty cool. Okay, well, I'm going to get a little bit further down, and then we're going to check out what is below here. Well, already a few blocks down into it, and I've found a sufficient amount of suspicious gravel to kind of peer into, but I might as well go ahead and take this opportunity while I do this to explain that the channel is going to be a little bit different. So throughout the summer, I'm probably only going to be making one video a month because I now have 2 jobs to work, and then I've also got some time where I will be out of town and unavailable to actually, whoa, I didn't know you could actually get dead bushes like that. That's interesting. I thought it always just showed up as sticks. So I guess if you soap touched it, that would work. But anyways, so I am going to be putting a lot less out here. But the good news is I'm going to be putting in a lot of extra effort into each episode now. And of course, with the new style and everything, it is going to be a lot more of a cool and new experience. So now I also have to find a way through here. But I think at the end of August, beginning of September, so right around fall, I'm going to try to do 2 episodes a month. So bi-monthly is the plan. And hopefully that will be sufficient to kind of keep the ball rolling here on the series. But for now, let's get even further down into here because I have no idea which way I'm going. All I've heard is that you just go straight down on these things. And of course, there is lots of gravel to explore here. And hopefully, I can get this thing going. In fact, you know what? We're going to do a time lapse right now. In fact, I'm going to start it going right here, and we're going to get through this like nothing. Well, like a fish, we have gutted this entire place here, and I have found almost all the loot that I wanted to get. Of course, I did get the music disc, relic, I believe it's called, and here is what we have so far. The only things we are missing now is the one smithing template with that little Z pattern. I forget what it's called, but we're also missing one of the sherds here. I believe there are 7, and I only have 6 variations. But of course, we're going to go find another one of these some other day. But for now, we have pretty much completely gutted this entire place. And I'm just going to collect a bit of the coal here because I can use this for when I go home. And now I'm going to try to find another jungle temple. Hopefully there is one here. Otherwise, if not, we're going to cut back over to the base because we have to finish what we started from the last 2 episodes, which of course means we have to build a enclosure pen for the sniffers and the camels, respectively. Well, no such luck with the jungle temple or another trail ruins, but now we have time to work on Sammy and Paul's little enclosure here, and we have a bunch of these torch flowers and pitcher plants that I have just been kind of throwing off to the side here, but for now, I'm going to save the rest of the seeds for later because we have to start working on your guys' little spot. And of course, we have our camels. No names yet, but when I get more name tags, we will actually start working on a couple of name ideas. I don't know if you want to leave any in the comments. I might pick one. But for now, we got to go over here behind our train station because off in this direction, I have a little spot planned out for the camels and the sniffers all in one place. Because right in this one spot, we are between the coastal forest here and the alpine forest just below our train station, of course. But then if we hop over here, we can connect this area past the creek over to the road to have a nice little way to get to it. Now, the idea is going to be having the sniffers inside a little enclosed area of leaves and lights everywhere. And it's going to be a nice little place for them to, pasteurize around and hang out with their eggs and stuff, making more little snifflets and whatnot. And then over here, we are going to have the camels, and maybe even later in the series, I'll grab a 3rd camel to complete the wise men trio of camels. And of course, the stable may have some resemblance to a specific biblical stable. But for now, we have to go ahead and build that little thing. So let's get going on with the cinematics and make a nice place for our animals to live. Well, what do you think, you two? This is your new home here. We have a nice couple little snifflets being ready to hatch anytime soon. No cracks in them yet, but, once they do, they'll be at home and happy. This area as well has a little feature where they can't actually jump out without hitting something of any sort. Now, actually, there is one flaw in this spot right here, so let me fix it real quick because the idea is that they can't get up anywhere. Even if they try to walk off this thing, there's no way they're actually going to get over these leaves or anything and get lost somewhere in the world here. But for now, this place is done. They are happy. Let's go ahead and check on the camels as well because we have a nice little pasture for the sniffers, but then we have a nice little manger for our camels here. And of course, you bet during Christmas I'm going to be decorating this place, because that would make complete sense and bring back my Catholic school days into the world here. But for now, all this is done. We have ourselves a nice little way to get back over to the road. And actually, you know what? I'm just remembering now. If I place all these petals down around the perimeter of our sniffer farm, if you look from above here, you can see that it adds a nice bit of flavor to the build here, of course. And so now it looks nice and pretty on the outside, because everything here has to look very nice, of course, for our sniffers right here. You know, we don't want them to be in squalor or in mud or anything. We want them to have a nice, happy home. The camels, don't worry, we're going to let them out. They're going to roam free a lot because they kind of just stick around. So this is kind of like their place to hang out at night. And then during the daytime, we'll just, you know, let them roam free, do whatever the hell they want, because I do want to make them a nice sandy area. So I'll probably build that at one point. But for now, we're going to keep them in there for a little bit. And then, of course, find them something to have. Now, this is a cool thing. I didn't realize you could bone meal these. So you just get a bunch of bone blocks, turn it into bone meal, and just go to town on these bad boys, because right here is like an infinite source of flowers without having to work for it at all. Now, of course, other flowers work just like that, but this one, you need a lot of them, because you need 4 in order to fill out an entire block like that. And I want to be spamming these things everywhere, because they have a very nice look to them. And it really puts a lot of extra, flair to the area. But you know what? I think this is it for today. I have pretty much finished off what I had planned. We have our sniffers in their nice little spot. Camels up there, of course, as mentioned before. And they're digging away their seeds. But I believe this is all we have time for today. I will be coming back next month, because I'm going to be releasing these now every other week. So I hope to see you then. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you liked it. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more. My name is Uni. I am jogging it out, and I will see you guys next time.